In this tutorial, we're going to use Jest to test some TypeScript code. We're going to use the Jest documentation to get set up, but we want to avoid using the function keyword because we're going to be writing TypeScript and we want to use the more modern arrow function syntax. So open up your IDE of choice. I'm going to use cursor and cd into a project you can use. First thing we're going to do is npm init-y. This is going to create a node project in the current directory, and the -y flag is going to accept all the default parameters that npm init would otherwise ask us about. So that'll save us a couple seconds. So to get started, we're going to copy this first command and we're going to paste it in our terminal. This is just saving it as a dev dependency. We don't need Jest to be on our production environment. So it makes the application a little more lightweight on the production side. Okay, so that's loaded, and we see it generated a package lock.json and a package.json. Go over to the scripts here, and right now you'll see npm test. We'll just echo out this command, so we can go ahead and try it right now. Npm test, and there we go. Echo error, no test specified. We're going to change this to Jest, so that when we do have tests later on, it will run Jest instead of echoing out that command. Okay, back to the documentation. We're going to scroll down to the TypeScript section. So here we are. Jest supports TypeScript via Babel. So now first it's telling us to follow the instructions of using Babel above. Go ahead and click that. It's on the same page. So we're going to start with this command here. Go back to our directory, paste that command in. Great, okay, added some stuff to the package.json. And then next we have to use Babel to target our current version of Node. We have to create a babel.config.js file in the root. So babel.config.js. And then it has some example code. We're actually going to skip down to the TypeScript section and install the Babel preset for TypeScript as well. Go ahead and copy that, drop it in the file here. And now we can go back to the beginning TypeScript command. So now we're all set up with Babel. I'm going to go here, npm, copy this. Otherwise, right, this won't know what to look for. So I have to install it. Great. And the next step here, so we need a TypeScript preprocessor so that Jest knows how to read TypeScript files. So copy that command. Go here and just copy and paste. And now we're going to import the APIs from it. So we'll go ahead and copy this. But the first thing we need to do, so we need an actual application, right? So create a source folder. And within that, I'm going to name this index.js. And then also in the root, we need to create a test file or test folder. And we're going to do index.test.js, right? And if this file was named whatever, like sum, like it is in the example, then this would have to be sum.text.js. So now we're importing some things from Jest. These are variables that we'll use to write our tests. And the example again was sum, so we're going to change this to, actually no, we don't need that right now. What we need to change is the file path. So we need to go up a layer, source, and index.ts. All right, so we're going to save that. An example here. Index.ts. All right, cool. Save that. All right, so now we have a function name that this can look for. We're importing it through there. So A type of number, B type of number, just gonna add those two together. We're expecting a number as an output, right? Pretty straightforward. Cool. So now we have one that will take a string as an input and capitalize the first letter of the string. Now we have two different tests, or two different functions rather, that we can test. So we also need to import that. So sum and capitalize, great. So now we're gonna write some tests. I'm going to group. So see this describe keyword? It's a good way to just like group tests together. You'll see it in the editor or in the terminal later. It's just a nice way to like organize things. We don't really need to do it with the capitalized one, but with the sum module here, I'm going to run some, additional tests about, adding 0 or adding negative numbers. I'll just throw it in a regular capitalized module, expect hello to be hello. It'll also work, right, if I did like hello there. You're going to see in the module or in the terminal, this is going to run before this. But with that said, we should be able to run npm test. Great. So you can see this first test actually went first, the capitalized module. And this should rather be the description of the test. Should capitalize the first letter of the string. A little more clear that way. As you can see, as this one expects 1 and 2 to equal 3, right? Pretty straightforward. And adds 1 and 2 to equal 3. Cool. So now I'm going to add some other, tests within the sum module. So let's do adds -1 to 2 to equal 1. So even though I updated the test criteria here, I didn't update the logic. So it's actually still marked as passing. So just be careful when you're writing your tests. You have to make sure these things match. So now I'm going to do -1 and 2 to equal 3, and it's going to fail because it's not right. There we go. So it points to that. And now I'm going to say, well, that should actually equal 1. Save. Run it again. And we're passing again. That's just a quick overview of how you can use TypeScript and Jest to make sure your applications are a little more bulletproof and allow you to test as you go. Thank you for watching.